G'day jabronis, it is TheVerd back with you again. We are here for a bit of a fun little team builder, guys. Don't read too much into this. Honestly, I'm just bringing some flame sets this week. We have already clinched top spot in our division quite convincingly. We are 10-1 right now with I think plus 29 differential. So this game, as much as I want to obviously win it and go to 11-1 because that would be a phenomenal record to go into playoffs in, it's not a game that really matters to me. Just like the game against Kingdra, like these aren't really games where I'm putting in 110% effort into my things because frankly I don't really need to. As bad as that sounds, what I'm looking to do in this battle though, guys, is show a lot of creativity, I guess, and showing off maybe some aspects of my team that maybe CJ won't see coming, and certain styles that I think will really catch him off guard in this game. The basic theme of this team is lure. The way that I see CJ as a battler, I think he's a great battler. Honestly, I have only really battled him once. I was a bit hacksy, unfortunately, in our first encounter with the Sleep Talk turns on Steelix potentially. But from my first encounter, what I ascertained, and what I've ascertained watching him through a lot of his matches, is CJ is the kind of player that will obviously have some great offensive threats, but when it comes to his established walls, they are designed with the sole purpose of walling a certain thing. Now, if you've watched my videos, you'll know that I am very focused on how the designation of a wall is not just it's not just to specifically wall an opponent's Pokemon. The other role of the wall is to be a threat to the opponent's team, and I think sometimes the problem with CJ was that he had Steelix last time, and the set got completely walled by the combination of Lantern, Skarmory, things like that. It didn't match up well against, and so I felt that was just not smart on CJ's part, and so I think it'll definitely be better this time around. But my basic premise is that I'm bringing a lot of threats that have ways to not only do damage like they normally would, but to potentially catch the things that would normally wall them off guard. So kicking things off on the team, we might as well just go with the Clefable. No, we'll talk about that Clefable later. First off, we have making his debut for the Tampa Bay Frogadiers. He left it to the last minute. The reason why I haven't been using Diamantane, guys, is it's hard. It's hard to make a team with Diamantane when I have a lot of other big physical threats, Physical Nido, Queen of Favor, Bring It, Zygarde, Mega Absol. It can be tricky to find room to bring him, but in this matchup, I really like Diamantane. The main reason for that is because CJ's two resistor Diamantane are a Tentacruel and a Salamence. Now, these are not ideal walls to a Diamantane. Now, if you're thinking, but TheVerd, Tentacruel is a pretty decent wall Diamantane. If this is a Life Orb Diamantane, Tentacruel is not a wall. Never has been, never will be. An Adamant Choice Scarf Diamantane Flare Blitz does 39% minimum to fully defensive Tentacruel, which I don't even think CJ is going to bring because, quite frankly, fully defensive Tentacruel has the only purpose of dealing with Diamantane. I feel if he's going to bring anything physically offensive, could potentially be immense, but at the same time, I don't know. He is going to have serious trouble against Diamantane, especially the Scarf set, because obviously I can outspeed everything on his team quite easily. I definitely could have put maybe less speed into him, but I wanted to put that much, just in case. Obviously, with that much speed, it'll allow me to outspeed DD, Scrafty, and whatnot if I need to. But Flare Blitz is the attack of choice. As I said earlier, there's a couple of ways of dealing with it. And just in case those ways want to try and come around and be annoying, I can predict the Tentacruel and go for EQ to kill it. I can go for Rock Slide on the Salamence, as well as a Volcarona if maybe I want to be cheeky at one point. But the main two moves you'll be seeing me use are Flare Blitz and U-Turn. Mainly Flare Blitz. U-Turn is really only on there potentially for things like maybe Reuniclus if it comes in. I doubt it. Like Flare Blitz, Adamant Flare Blitz on a 140 attack is just ridiculous. Like, it's going to rip through his team, and it's going to be great. I'm going to thoroughly enjoy watching it. Now, the problem is with running Adamant, if he has a modest Quiver-Dance Volcarona, he will outspeed me and have the chance to kill me, which sucks, but the damage output I can get from Adamant is really, I can pretty much 6-0 CJ's team if he doesn't bring Salamence or Tentacruel. That's the kind of situation I'm in here. It has the hitting value. Obviously, a fully defensive Steelix can take the hit, but then again, if you look at my team with Clefable and Mega Absol there, I kind of want Mega Steelix out of the way. Now, the other thing about Mega Steelix is it's probably CJ's best wall to my Zygarde, and so I was thinking, okay, I want a way to be able to stop Mega Steelix from being a nuisance to Zygarde, and so how was I going to do that? By slapping a choice band on my Zygarde. The reason why I like banded Zygarde in this matchup is because, again, CJ has very limited ways of dealing with this thing. When it comes to Earthquake spam, his best two switch-ins are a Trevenant, which isn't ideal against Zygarde in the slightest, and Salamence, which isn't always a smart switcher. Now, the downside with Zygarde is the lack of dragon moves. I have to run Outrage, and in order for Outrage to be effective, I have to make sure that Sylveon is out of the way. Fortunately, Earthquake decimates Sylveon, so that's a plus in itself. Extreme Speed is phenomenal. Banded Extreme Speed to neutral natured Tornadus does like half, which is just dumb. So having that in the back as a really nice, failsafe is really nice. Also, non-HP Ice Volcarona can't kill this thing at +1, which is dope. The other cool thing is I'm packing Stone Edge because I felt Stone Edge would be a really smart bring. It damages the Electros, the Salamence, and oh my god, I'm forgetting the other thing that was meant to damage. I guess the Sylveon to an extent. It basically gives me an outlet to something other than Outrage to use to get a good chunk of damage off, which is the important part. But Earthquake's going to be a main attack of choice. Banded Earthquake rips through CJ's team like nothing. He does, like I said, not have a lot of great switch-ins, and I can easily play around the ones that he does bring in. The role of Zygarde really is to chip his team. If I don't see Sylveon, all I really have to do is take down the Steelix or really heavily weaken it, and then I could just start clicking Banded Outrage, and that's going to be doing an absolute ton. This Zygarde has, if I do my quick maths in my head, it's going to be, what, 83 added on. 83 to that is going to be 250 base attack here, which is even stronger than my Darmanitan. So it's going to be hitting like an absolute truck. So that's going to be great. And I figured, well, if I'm running a Choice Scarf and a Choice Bander, it might be smart to run some Choice Specs. Now, you might be thinking, Verd, how is this a creative team if you're just slapping 3 choice items on Pokemon? The reason this is creative, guys, is because Darmanitan is much better with a Life Orb set against CJ. He will think that, and I can play around that a lot easier, I think, in the long run, if I run the Scarf to catch him off guard. DD Zygarde also has a very good matchup against CJ if he brings defensive Steelix, which I can bust down with a combination of Zygarde plus a couple of other cameos in this team. It is a lot more productive way because it already gives me the +1 boost that I would have got from my DD to cripple him. And the reason why Specs Nidoqueen is really good is because of Electros. Now, CJ last time brought Electros, and it was truly an annoying thing to deal with. Why was it annoying to deal with? Okay, so normal Electros, if I'm like a modest Life Orb Nidoqueen, my Sludge Wave can't 2-KO an Eel. Specs Sludge Wave, on the other hand, can. And that's going to be the thing. He's going to see the damage, realize that I'm Specs, and I can totally take advantage of these situations. Now, if he has the Aqua Tail, I don't mind because I have Water Absorb Lantern. Like, I can deal with that. It's not a big deal. If he's going to be that physical set again, that's cool. If he is the special set, that is completely fine as well, because the special set can't really touch Nidoqueen. So I feel like he's going to have to be that physical set again. If I get knocked off, it's not even a big deal. I have rocks on this set too, because like crippling Volcarona and Salamence and Tornadus is really nice, especially since his only spinner is Tentacruel, which my Lantern can take advantage of, which is phenomenal. I really like that. The set is basically designed to punch holes through levels all, specifically that Eel. If he brings the Eel, the fact that I can 2-KO it is huge. I am running just enough speed to outspeed max speed non-Scarf Sylveon, which is really important to be able to just go for a Sludge Wave and pretty much OHKO that thing. If he doesn't bring Steelix, which would be like ridiculously impossible, he's definitely bringing Steelix. But if Steelix is out of the way, spamming Sludge Wave is amazing against CJ's team. He does not have a lot of great switches. Volcarona can take one potentially, but I can basically let off a huge amount of damage. I don't have enough HP to live a modest Life Orb hit like he was last time, so I just got to watch out for that one, but it's still going to be an absolute juggernaut. Now, we come to the first of one of our bigger lures, I guess. So the thing with Clefable is your normal Carmine set, bit passive, you know, he's got things like the Tentacruel and the Steelix to deal with it. Not this Clefable. This is a variation on Tank Fable. If you know what Tank Fable is, basically that was a max HP, max special attack Clefable with Carmine and a Life Orb. The reason why Life Orb is good is because Magic Guard protects the recoil, meaning you can get off your 30% boost on your moves without taking any recoil damage, which is great. Now, I'm running 3 attacks with no way to heal myself because I am a madman, but I'm a madman with a plan. So, you might also be wondering, Verd, why are you running a timid Clefable, like what's up with that? Reason for that, actually, hold on. That's, no, not this one. Hold on. Pretty sure I did this right. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3. Does that mean that I can't get to 1, 2, 3, or can I? Oh, I can't. Can I not? Let's see what I can do. Yeah, I get 1, 2, 3 max, which sucks, because I can speed tie with Sylveon, but Clef doesn't need to speed tie with Sylveon. What Clef needs to do is it needs to outspeed Scrafty. Now, reason is because Scrafty is like not the worst thing to bring against me. Like DD Scrafty can be annoying, knockoff is annoying, so being able to outspeed that thing straight up is great. I want to be able to outspeed that thing because I don't want to take like an Iron Head to the face. That's just not okay, not ideal. And I lose a little bit of damage output, but it's fine. So move-wise, Moonblast is basically the attack of choice, ripping through Pokemon like it's nothing, because that's just what Clef does. That's what Clef's always done. Fire Blast has also been a decent tech on Clefable since the dawn of time. It's really good in this matchup because I can hit up that Steelix for an insane amount of damage. If he's not specially defensive, he has the possibility, if I was modest, to die, but since I'm not modest, he might still have a chance to die if he is fully defensive, which it could potentially be as a Zygarde check. Now, what I think will be his check to me on the special side is going to be that Tentacruel. Now, he will be wrong thinking Tentacruel can wall me though, because I have Psyshock, which hits on the physical side, not the special side, which means that special defense in Tentacruel is going to mean jack shit. I'm going to be able to fire off that Psyshock and easily be able to 2-KO him. He can't really do much to me other than Sludge Bomb. With Magic Guard, I can't even die to poison, and a crit Sludge Bomb doesn't even kill me, so we are pretty safe as houses there. It's a really nice lure against this team. I can bring it in against a lot of things to set up too, which is great. A lot of momentum, especially with Darmanitan having U-turn, being able to bait in a lot of things I can set up on. It's really, really nice, so that's kind of cool. I like that aspect of Clef, and it's definitely going to be something that can catch him off guard, I think. Moving on, we have a really cool set. So last time I battled CJ, I brought a Choice Scarfed Lantern, which unfortunately wasn't really able to get the job done because it was lacking Thunderbolt and Hydro Pump that I initially brought, and instead had Scald and Volt Switch, which kind of sucked because if I had Thunderbolt, it would have killed Tentacruel and that would have been so good, but I didn't have that. Now I have realized my mistakes and I've fixed things up. So, he has, as you can see, not a lot of speed. You're probably thinking, but Verd is an agility set. Why is there not much speed? Because if you double Lantern speed there, you go to 192. Now a max speed Tornadus Therian reaches 191, meaning that I outspeed his entire team after an agility. Now this moveset is pretty much covering everything on his team. Sylveon is a little bit annoying, Reuniclus is a little bit annoying, but still a modest Hydro Pump, even from just 76 special attack, is still going to do a lot. I'm running Water Absorb this week, which might seem like a surprise, but it's basically a fail-safe contingency. The way I see it, I can use it against, if Electros is in against Nidoqueen, and maybe, you know, I want, maybe he's running a bit more Speed F than I expected, and he's going to go for an Aqua Tail. I can take advantage of that, get up my agility, or even just fire off the Life Orb, Hydro Pump, and blow that thing back if need be. I have those options at my disposal. I decided to go with Life Orb because that guarantees so many kills on so many things. The best part about this thing is just the fact that it can set up quite freely and just get off damage so effectively. Once I get the agility up, and if he does not have Sylveon on his team, I can pretty much net a kill, which is going to be huge if I can do that. It's definitely going to be a big threat for him to deal with. Very keen to see how it goes this time. I think it was one of the more important Pokemon last time we played each other, and I think it's going to be definitely important this time around. I think even for 76 special attack investment, it's going to surprise a few people. And finally, we come to the lure of all lures, and this set's going to look weird, but I need to explain it for you to understand it. So, last time I ran, I believe, Iron Tail over Fire Blast on Absol. That was for the Sylveon. Then I realized that the combination of Knockoff plus Play Rough to a non-bulky Sylveon pretty much blows it back anyway, so I was like, okay. So I decided instead I was going to try and set myself up in a position where I can bait in a Steelix and deal with it. Now, CJ doesn't normally run a lot of attack investment in his Steelix. Like, he doesn't really need to in this matchup either because I have a Skarmory. He knows that there is a very good wall to his Steelix, as well as Cresselia, which isn't really a wall, but still, he knows that his better role here is to be bulky and take advantage of that. So, in order to take advantage of that situation, I've given my Absol a lot of HP. A lot of HP to the point where a Steelix with only a little bit of attack investment can't one-hit KO me with that Heavy Slam, which would be his strongest attacking move against me. Bar maybe Gyro Ball, I don't know, potentially. I don't think Gyro Ball gets super high on base power, I'm not 100% sure on that, but anyway, the point is, Absol can Mega Evolve, go for that knockoff, or the Sucker Punch maybe to kill something. Regardless, he can just get the Mega off against something particular, go for the knockoff against the Steelix if it comes in. I can kind of suss what kind of Steelix that I'm working with there, because if it's specially defensive, I'll do about 17%. If he's physically defensive, it's going to do doo-doo butter, but then I can go for the Fire Blast. And you might be thinking Fire Blast with only 4 special attack is going to be nothing, but remember that Absol's special attack is almost the exact same as Modest Lantern. So with the 115 boost and the fact that Steelix's special defense is not as good as its defense by a long shot, I can get in a huge amount of damage. You might be thinking, Verd, why not just run Willow? It looks like it has a better matchup against his team. Willow's risky. Especially if he's a Rest Talk Steelix, it's not really smart in the long run. Plus, I'm going to take 2 burned Heavy Slams, which will still kill me because I'm still an Absol. So it's a lot safer to just go for the Fire Blast here, getting off that huge amount of damage. I have the player off packing it for the Salamence and the Scrafty. Still have the knockoff there and the Sucker Punch because they are just fantastic stab moves in this matchup. The basic plan is to lure in that Steelix, knock it out, and if Steelix goes down, then my team has a really fun time. My Nidoqueen can spam that Sludge Wave, my Zygarde is one step closer to spamming Outrage, my Clefable is not as worried, I guess, about that Steel type there. Lantern can freely spam Thunderbolt, which is really, really nice. Darmanitan doesn't really care, like Darmanitan just clicks Flare Blitz and doesn't give a shit, but basically guys, this team is kind of just a bit of fun. Like, as you can see, it's very hyper offensive, which I don't think CJ is going to expect. CJ is going to expect like me to bring a fun team for sure, but I don't think he's going to expect complete hyper offense. And if you look at this team also on paper, the core of Nidoqueen, Clefable, and Lantern definitely could be very defensive. You look at the matchup, so I think perhaps he won't expect full hyper offense. 9 times out of 10, my lead is going to be Darmanitan, just because if he leads with Torn, it's just a free Flare Blitz, to be fair. Scarf Torn doesn't even kill me. If he goes for knockoff, it doesn't matter. I just Flare Blitz and kill Torn. And if Torn goes down, that's great. But yeah, in summary, I'm just going to go out there. Honestly, this is also a battle as well, where I don't really mind. Like, this is basically kind of like a Hydra team, is what I call it. It's like Hyper Offense Hydra style, which is basically, if you cut off one head, I'm just going to come back stronger. So if you kill one of my Pokemon, this is the beauty of hyper offense. Once one Pokemon dies, another one just comes in and takes complete advantage of the situation. So for example, if Clef comes in and goes for his Fire Blast, doesn't net the kill on Steelix, dies to Heavy Slam, oh no, that sucks, but don't worry, I can bring in my Life Orb Lantern, my Nidoqueen, my Zygarde, my Darmanitan, and now because the work that my Clef has put in, his Steelix is at a range where it can't now effectively deal with my Absol, it can't now effectively deal with the Zygarde that I have on my team. So there are situations where I am just trying to peg down certain members of the team. The 2 big members that I'm trying to peg down as soon as possible are Sylveon and Steelix. They are the big 2. Reason being is because if I can take down Sylveon and Steelix, Mega Absol becomes a nightmare for his team, as does Zygarde. These 2 have the ability to absolutely rip his team apart. The other big one that I want to try and get rid of is any fire resist, because then Darmanitan becomes savage. So there are definitely some big things to look out for. I definitely feel pretty good with this team. Like, as much as it is just a team for fun, I feel like it's also a team that matches up really well against him. Yes, obviously, looking at things on the flip side, there are definitely some big problems. Number one being like DD Ments kind of 6-0s my team, but we don't talk about that. There is that aspect, which I definitely... But the thing is as well, for DD Ments to sweep my team, he's going to have to predict something like Wild. He's going to have to take a Flare Blitz to the face, potentially twice in a row, which can then put him into banded E-Speed range. Like, I'm going to put myself in situations where his worst threats can't really stop me. Volcarona is also a bit terrifying, but again, E-Speed does a good amount of damage. I have Darmanitan that can take one hit and Flare Blitz. I have Absol with Sucker Punch, so I have ways to obviously weaken the Volcarona before it can kill my team. And also, Lantern's bulky enough to take a Giga Drain, and I can reply with a Life Orb Hydro Pump, which is huge. So definitely feel like this is going to be a cool team. I am really keen to try it out and just see how it goes, to be fair. I don't really use Hyper Offense that often, but I do enjoy using it every now and then. I hope this is going to be a fun battle for me and with CJ as well. I really hope he does have fun with this one. Fingers crossed it goes well for us, but I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff, and also drop some comments down below how you feel about this team. Obviously it is an incredibly hyper offensive team, not normally the playstyle you're used to on my channel, but definitely one that I want to show off, because I don't want to be put down as this guy that just constantly uses stall, because I don't really use stall either. I use it against V, but it wasn't even stall because I was bringing like setup. So I don't know, I'd like to hear you guys and your opinions on this team. Also, go check out CJ. I'll probably drop the link to his channel in the battle video, not the team builder, but please go check out his channel. He does some really good content. He's a very, very good friend of mine. So this battle, as much as it is competitive as always, it is definitely going to be a lot of fun as well. And I'm really keen to put on a good show. If anything, I don't want to get like swept. I don't want to sweep him. I just want it to be a good, fun battle. So best of luck, CJ. Hope you guys enjoy. TheVerd and Kant will be back for his final game of the regular season. Hopefully your Tampa Bay Frogadiers can go to 11-1 to finish their season. But even if we don't, I think 10-2 is still a pretty damn good record to go for the season. But that's going to do it for me. My name is TheVerd, and I'm out this bitch.